Jamaicans of like mind in Jamaica.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Connecting the Jamaican diaspora abroad and at home.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story, highlighting the positive role of the Jamaican diaspora. Sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Time now for Both Sides of the Story on Power 106 FM. We will not take sides, but we listen to your side. Join us as we explore the issues, present the facts, speak with the experts, and as always, listen to both sides. What's your story? Tell us on Both Sides of the Story. 922-4112, 922-4113, 922-4114, and 922-4115. You can listen to both sides of the story on the Gleaner's website, www.go-jamaica.com, on your mobile phones at tunein.com or novex.com, or by dialing 832-551-5045 or 213-493-0133 in the USA. If you're in the UK, you can dial 020-3519-0145, and in Germany, 051-180-904044. Our email address is bothsides106@live.com, and you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or link us up on Skype. We look forward to receiving your instant messages on MSN or Yahoo, and your text messages on 365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. It is right, it should be so. Man was made for joy and woe. And when this we rightly know, through the world we safely go. Joy and woe are woven fine, a clothing for the soul divine. Under every grief and pine runs a joy with silken twine. The strongest poison ever known came from Caesar's laurel crown. Naught can deform the human race like to the armor's iron brace. Every night and every morn, some to misery are born. Every morn and every night, some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to sweet delight. Some are born to endless night. God appears and God is light to those poor souls who dwell in night, but does a human form display to those who dwell in realms of day.
Where have you been, my brown-eyed son? Where have you been, my darling young one? I've stumbled on the side of 12 misty mountains. I've walked and I've crawled on 6 crooked highways. I've stepped in the middle of 7 sad forests. I've been out in front of a dozen dead oceans. I've been 10,000 miles in the mouth of a graveyard. It's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard. hard rain is gonna fall. What did you see, my brown-eyed son? What did you see, my darling young one? Saw a newborn baby with wolves all around it. I saw a highway of diamonds with nobody on it. I saw a blood branch with blood that kept dripping. I saw a room full of men with their hammers a bleeding. I saw a white ladder all covered with water. I saw 10,000 takers whose tongues were all broken. I saw guns and sharp swords in the hands of young children. It's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rain. It's gonna fall. What did you hear, my brown-eyed son? What did you hear, my darling young one? I heard the sound of a thunder, it roared out a warning. I heard the roar of a wave that could drown the whole world. I heard 100 drummers whose hands were a-blazing. I heard 10,000 whispers with nobody listening. I heard one person stop, I heard many people laughing. Heard the song of a poet who died in the gutter. Heard the sound of a clown who cried in the alley. It's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rain. It's gonna fall. Who did you meet, my brown-eyed son? Who did you meet, my darling young one? I met a young child beside a dead body. I met a white man who walked up that door. I met a young woman whose body was burning. I met a young girl, she gave me a rainbow. I met one man who was wounded in love. I met another man who was wounded with hatred. It's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rain. It's gonna fall. What do you do now, my brown-eyed son? What do you do now, my darling young one? I'm going back out for the rain starts a falling. I'll walk to the depths of the deepest black forest, where the people are many and their hands are all empty, where the pellets of poison are flooding their water, where the home in the valley meets the dark dirty prison, where the executioner's face is always well hidden, where the hunger is ugly, where souls are forgotten, where black is the color, where none is the number. And I'll tell it and think it and speak it and breathe it, and reflect it from the mountain so hot souls can hear it. And I stand on the ocean until I start sinking, and I know my songs well before I start singing. It's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rain. Is a falling. It's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rain, is a falling. Where have you been, my brown-eyed son? Where have you been, my darling young one? I've stumbled on the side of 12 misty mountains. I walked on a frog on 6 crooked highways. I stepped in the middle of
Jimmy Cliff's rendition of the great Bob Dylan's "A Hard Rain is Gonna Fall." A hard rain is gonna fall. And before that, we shared with you an excerpt, or in fact, an edited version of The Auguries of Innocence by William Blake. It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and 2022 marks the start of the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 26th day of the 4th month of 2022, the International Year of Sustainable Mountain Development, the International Year of Basic Sciences for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Glass, and the International Year of Artisanal Fisheries and Aquaculture. Muslims around the world are still observing the holy month of Ramadan, which runs for 30 days, ending at sundown on Monday, the 2nd of May, 2022. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. The holy month of Ramadan is a time for fasting, prayer, and community for Muslims across the world. The month of April is drawing to a close, and the world is still observing Autism Awareness Month. It's Arab American Heritage Month in the United States of America. Also in the US, April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Here in Jamaica, April is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, Farmers Month, Financial Literacy Month, and National Sexually Transmitted Infections Awareness Month. There are quite a few observances this week as well. Let's tell you that normally around this time, the Jamaica Literary Association leads the celebration of National Reading Week. The world is observing Immunization Week, and Jamaica joins the rest of the world in marking Intellectual Property Week. Intellectual Property Week. In fact, today is World Intellectual Property Day. World Intellectual Property Day. Today is also International Delegates Day and International Chernobyl Disaster Remembrance Day. It's Confederate Memorial Day in the USA and Union Day in Tanzania. This week is also being observed here in Jamaica as Pap Smear Week, Administrative Professionals Week, and Medical Laboratory Professionals Week. Un momento. One moment, please. I didn't realize we're this close to the break. So let's take the break and then come back and properly introduce today's edition of Both Sides of the Story.
What do we do now, my darling young one? I'm a going back out for the rain starts a falling. I'll walk to the depths of the deepest black forest, where the people are many
Walk into Marjan's Pharmacy and you will feel better. The service is clearly different. Marjan's Pharmacy, call 876-703-6335. The time by Marjan's Pharmacy is 2:15.
Importers, traders, brokers, Jamaicans at home and abroad. Want to know more about providing proper invoices to customs and get your valuation questions ventilated? Then join the Jamaica Customs Agency for its CCC online engagement forum. Click, connect, and converse with customs on Thursday, April 28, 2022 from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. under the theme Your Invoice Matters. Visit www.jacustoms.gov.jm to register and to participate. Log on and get it right as Your Invoice Matters. That's Thursday, April 28, 2022, starting at 10:30 a.m. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Who says an excellent medical education has to be expensive?
The Caribbean School of Medical Sciences, Jamaica, offers quality training through our affordable pre-med and Doctor of Medicine programs. Our aim is to develop a quality workforce of professionals. We offer excellent facilities, experienced lectures, and hands-on learning. Licensed scholarships are now available. Secure the career of your dreams by applying today. Visit us at 77 Sharpwood Road, Kingston 8, or send us an email at info@csmsj.edu.jm. Caribbean School of Medical Sciences, Jamaica, your first step to success in medicine and health sciences. Farmers and fisher folks, Sagicor has all your answers with coverage for life and health insurance. Tune in this and every Thursday during Farm Talk for the featured Sagicor AgriCare Plan as we educate you on the types of coverage they have to offer. That's Sagicor AgriCare Plan every Thursday during Farm Talk from 6:33 to 6:45 a.m. Brought to you by Sagicor, affordable life and health insurance for farmers and fisher folk.
It's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rain. It's gonna fall. What did you hear?
Hoy es martes el 26 de abril 2022 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est mardi le 26 avril 2022 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Tuesday, the 26th of April, 2022, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
Where the hunger is ugly, where souls are forgotten, where black is the color, where none is the number. And I'll tell it and think it and speak it.
Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Morant Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you can download from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We thank those who have dialed a designated number to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. If you're in the US and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 631-359-8281. 631-359-8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330-606-0953, 0330-606-0953. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page and affiliated pages. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear, but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. If you don't have a Facebook account, no sweat, there's always YouTube. That is correct. All you need is a functional device and internet connectivity. And then you open a browser like Bing, Safari, Google Chrome, any one of those, and start typing YouTube. Before you can start typing, the box is going to populate with the details of the website, and you will see videos trending, including this one, if you were to do that just now. And you're good to go. You'll be able to watch both sides of the story. And we look forward to your full participation. You can send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes. In fact, you can call us via WhatsApp, and that's 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Looking forward to hearing from you. The numbers to call, 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, as we have indicated. And therefore, everything that you have become accustomed to doing via WhatsApp and text is possible once again this afternoon on both sides of the story. Let's welcome those who are already on board. Always a pleasure to have you online. Norman Hines says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan Malcolm and listeners. Good afternoon, Norman Hines and all the others in St. Thomas. Welcome to Exley Montgomery. Exley Montgomery says, hi, teacher. You and Power 106 family, keep safe, and you do likewise, Exley. Olga Hollingshead, I believe in Florida, says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan Malcolm, and all your listening family and friends everywhere. Wishing you a wonderful and a blessed day. Thank you very much, Olga Hollingshead. Lorraine Brown is somewhere between Claremont and, somewhere between Claremont at this time. What time is it? She's somewhere between Claremont and St. Anne's Bay, I believe. She says, good afternoon, Sir D. I want to wish my beautiful sister, Mrs. Eulalie Brown Francis, a.k.a. Addie from Claremont, St. Anne. May the Lord continue to guide and protect her always, wishing her long life, happiness, and good health and prosperity. Love you, sis. Have a good one from your beautiful little sister, Lorraine, and the rest of the family. Phil Joy, my queen, God bless. And there are all kinds of emojis to punctuate the conclusion of that message from Lorraine. All the best to your sister, Eulalie Brown Francis. Sharon Richards is in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. She says, blessed afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Hope all is well with you. Rainy Sav Lamar. You've got company, Sharon Richards. It's raining cats and dogs here in the corporate area, at least for the period of time we journeyed from elsewhere to the studios and waded in some water. And there's a lot of rain, buckets. It's raining buckets, as they would say in the UK. Hello to our listeners and viewers in the United Kingdom. Great to have you on board. Sean Chambers, otherwise known as Matthew, says, good day, Mr. Dervan, and how are you? And big up yourself. Big up yourself too, Sean, otherwise known as Matthew. Asher Ash says, good day, Mr. Dervan. Just tuning in from London, England. Welcome, Asher Ash in London, England, where the UK leg of the Jamaica 60 celebrations was launched yesterday. And from all indications, it went very well. Congratulations to those involved. Herbert Bogle says, hi, Mr. Malcolm, and afternoon. I'm watching you from New York City. Enough respect and blessings to you. To you too, Herbert Bogle, and all the other Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica in New York City. Good to have you on board, both sides of the story of Jamaicans at home and abroad. Ricardo Porteous, we see you. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for your message. And Lorraine Brown says, thanks, Sir D. I'm at work in St. Anne's Bay, St. Anne. Well, please don't allow us to distract you from your work, whether to distract you or to detract from your work, Lorraine Brown. We want you to focus on your work so you can be as productive as possible. Don't mind us. We're on the job here. Let's say hello and welcome to one of our regular listeners out of Florida on our WhatsApp line, which doubles as the text line. And also, you could say trebles as the straight line to us on this side of the glass. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. How are you doing?
I'm giving thanks for life. And you?
Doing the same. Okay, I have 2 points here. One is, I think, a lady from Portmore, I think sometime last week I was listening to the program and she said she don't want to hear anything but no politics. But
that's Miss Olive.
The commander say what's on your mind.
That's Miss Olive.
So if she's listening, I guess there's no rule and no law that says she can't turn off her radio. But people are going to talk what's on their mind. Is that okay?
Sure. As long as you're not libeling or slandering anybody, you're free to speak.
Okay. Next point is, I hear Raskava saying that Jesus wasn't a Christian. Can he verify that?
Well, you'd have to. I'm sure Raskava would gladly connect with you and explain his side of the story in that regard. So I would humbly suggest that you...
I expect him to call back and respond to that because the Bible said his cousin, Jesus' cousin, John the Baptist, baptized him when he was 30 and his ministry lasted for 3 years. So I'm going to hang up and hear what Raskava have to say.
All right, let's listen out for Raskava. Thanks for the call.
All right, boss.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello. Lorraine Brown says, no, Sir D, my lunchtime just ended. Resuming work now. Well, give thanks, Lorraine Brown. You have lunch. Where's my lunch? All right, never mind. At least you have lunch. Spare a thought for those who have none. May they be fed with the breath and bread of life. Let's clear some messages now, and there are many, multiples. And Miss Olive is quick on the draw. Miss Olive, has to respond, and so she is on the text line, which is the same as the WhatsApp line and the straight line. But Miss Olive, we're going to ask you to hang on a moment because we're up on the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 2:30. Importers, traders, brokers, Jamaicans at home and abroad. Want to know more about providing proper invoices to customs and get your valuation questions ventilated? Then join the Jamaica Customs Agency for its CCC online engagement forum. Click, connect, and converse with customs on Thursday, April 28, 2022 from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. under the theme Your Invoice Matters. Visit www.jacustoms.gov.jm to register and to participate. Log on and get it right as Your Invoice Matters. That's Thursday, April 28, 2022 starting at 10:30 a.m. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Celebrate Farmers Month and win a share of $500,000 in the H&L Agro Farmers Month competition, April 1 to 30. Shop with your H&L loyalty card at any H&L Agro store for a chance to win weekly prizes of $10,000 or the grand prize of $300,000. Shop now at your nearest H&L Agro store. Visit hardwareandlumber.com for more details. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Farmers and fisher folks, Sagicor has all your answers with coverage for life and health insurance. Tune in this and every Thursday during Farm Talk for the feature Sagicor AgriCare Plan as we educate you on the types of coverage they have to offer. That's Sagicor AgriCare Plan every Thursday during Farm Talk from 6:33 to 6:45 a.m. Brought to you by Sagicor, affordable life and health insurance for farmers and fisher folk.
Starts a falling. I'll walk to the depths of the deepest.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And here's Miss Olive to speak her truth and speak it clearly, as Desiderata says. Good afternoon, Miss Olive.
Good afternoon, Dervan. And I'm going to do just that, what you just said. This gentleman is complaining about my saying I don't want to hear no politics. That's not what I said. I said there are other stations that the same people call day in, day out and talk politics. Your program was not designed, not that they cannot call, but don't hold up the thing they call for half an hour, 3/4 hour, while other people are on the line wanting to talk about things that edify everyone. That's all I'm saying. So, mister, clean out your ears, it's studying up, and say what I said. I did not say I don't want to hear no politics, because that's all I'm going to do. Chat politics now and noon and night. We need to learn, and that's what the Dervan program is all about. Okay? So, take a leaf out of Dervan's book and read and extend your brain so that you can call him and discuss topics that edifies each and every one of us, not just GLP, PNP foolishness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Olive. All the best.
Okay.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Randy Williams says, Christians follow Christ. Jesus was a Jew. I am Christian because I follow Christ. Thank you for your message, Randy Williams. Jacqueline Simmons says, good afternoon, blessings to you too, Jacqueline Simmons. Kermit says, where's your message, Kermit? Jesus had nor has any religion. He's all about righteousness, says Kermit. Thank you very much for your message, Kermit. And Faye Weller says, blessed afternoon to you too, Faye Weller. Good to have you on board. Thanks for making it Both Sides of the Story here on Power 106 FM. Cuban in Georgia, you will not be able to connect with us right now, because June in Norway is already on the line, Cuban in Georgia. So hang tight until June in Norway is through with her call. We appreciate your call. Thank you very much for calling, but you're not going to get through right now because June in Norway is already on the line. Hello, June in Norway. How are you?
How are you doing? I'm good. How are you?
I am giving thanks for life. It's good to have you on board. How are things?
I just got to...
I was about to ask you, how are things in Oslo, Norway?
Well, it's not so much different. But, because of the war and all these kind of things, there's a lot of ups and downs because, Norway is taking in thousands of the refugees every day, almost. And everything is not in place as yet, so it's a little, whatever. You understand what I mean?
Yes, understood.
When everything
a little uneasy or discomforting. Yes.
Yeah. So it's not much more to say, but they're coming in, they're doing their best, and Norway is helping as much as they can.
Very good.
Anyway, not only Norway, most country, but Norway is one of them taking in the refugees and things like that. Very sad. Now, I said to myself, if I wasn't feeling, we're not sick, but we're not able to bother with these things. I would go work free of cost to help the people and because I'm better things in another run. They have me deployed to, in the health service. So I could go and help a little bit to free of cost, but me not bother like that. Too much. But I could do it voluntary because they need people like me and you and people who can do it and can prove that they are qualified. But why me work too hard, no time for me sit down and relax the other one. So me just leave that there. Anyway, me just call for say hello, how are you doing? Me agree with Mr. Liv,
Yes.
Yeah, me listen, but me not call because they say sometimes it's better to talk less and listen. When you listen, you learn more. When you talk too much, you miss out. So me leave that there, but me glad to hear somebody would have said the same thing I would have said. I mean, I have nothing more to say than take care of
you too.
Let me leave it to the other people then because I know you're sure. And Miss Alice said, your show is to teach. And I love it because I learn a lot of history from you, things that I never know before.
Yes.
I learn it from you, and I thank you for that, Dervan. So I leave that there. Take care.
You too. All the best.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's June in Oslo, Norway. Thank you very much for your call. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. And let's see, let's clear a few more of the messages. James Morgan says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Love the wonderful work you're doing. Keep up the good work. Thank you, James Morgan. AF says, good day, Mr. Malcolm, from Nurse Fagan and Nurse Lord at Police Academy in Twickenham Park. Well, good afternoon to Nurse Fagan and Nurse Lord at the Police Academy in Twickenham Park. Thank you so much for being a part of the Both Sides of the Story experience. It's a pleasure to have you joining us today. All right, let's go through the list now. We have quite a few messages to clear. Please bear with us as we try to clear these messages. Hello to Paul Brown, who is online. And someone has sent us a message. This is Arlene saying, hello, Dervan, look at the talent we have here. Only if our leaders cared about ensuring every Jamaican is educated. You could just imagine the production that would be here Where is the country going without doing something for ourselves? And we see that Arlene has sent us a video, which I would imagine would explain her position. And we haven't had the opportunity to play that off air just yet, but thanks in the meantime for your message, Arlene. Also in the mix as we go down the line and seek to separate and sort our messages. Let's see. Let's go to, there are so many. Let me see this one. I'm sure you would, but this time somebody has sent something. We'll have to look at that off air. I have to go through that off air. So hold that for a moment as we go through the others. Geneva says, teacher, blessings. In one of my texts, I said the Holy Spirit showed me the fifth wave of the virus. The virus will be coming. You said you hope not. We had the fifth wave already, though, didn't we? We had the fifth wave already, Geneva. We had the fifth wave already. So this would be number 6, assuming there is a sixth one coming. So we have had the fifth already, as far as I'm aware. Anyway, she says this virus will be here for a while. Not only that, we'll be having deaths, closing of supermarkets. Jehovah's set a protocol for this virus. When the people of the world heard that the vaccine was the mark of the beast, they refused the jab. They didn't want to go to hell. They weren't smart. The devil tricked them. I hope their eyes are now open. Run to the rock. God bless J.A. Land, says Geneva. Thank you very much for your message, Geneva. Michael from Belle Plaine in Clarendon is on board as well. Mrs. Eileen Budai, hello to you. She says, hello, Dervan. It's been a long time. Hope you had a wonderful Easter. We did. Thank you very much. Can you text me Althea Mackenzie's WhatsApp number? Wish to speak with her. Could you please wish my beautiful daughter Stacy a happy birthday? Thanks. Blessings to you. Happy birthday, Stacy. We're going to forward this message from Mrs. Budai to Althea Mackenzie. Did I see Althea Mackenzie in the foyer downstairs earlier on? Was that Althea? I'm not sure. Haven't seen her in such a long time. I perhaps don't even remember what she looks like. I'm sure I spotted her downstairs. Was that her, Chandel? Well, she will be able to tell us. Well, we just sent her Eileen Budai's message, and we're going to share Ms. Budai's contact information as well. And let's see. So we have done that. There you go. And this one from Gian in Chantilly, Portland, who simply says, good afternoon, teacher. Good afternoon, Gian in Chantilly, Portland. Samantha in Manchester in the UK says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Well said, Miss Olive. Talk truth. And Eureka says, good afternoon, Dervan. Mac called on an earlier program indicating that a member of the current cabinet didn't attend. Look, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go through this conspiracy theory here. Yeah, that is dead. That matter is dead. And it has no bearing on anything that is happening now. So we're going to move on. And Althea has responded. She will be reaching out to Mrs. Budai. Thank you very much, Althea. And having covered that ground, let's see. Miss Pearl, how are you? Miss Pearl says, good day, Sir D. Oops, where did that message go? Come back here. Where did that message go? Well, it's coming up to the break anyway. So let's take the break and come back with more.
Well, the people are many
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
It's Easter time at H&L Rapid True Value. From April 21 to 30, get up to 75% off select lighting, houseware, and Hotesh tools. Plus, special offers on building materials. The Easter fun doesn't end there. Don't miss our Easter egg giveaway April 22 to 24. Spend $10,000 excluding GCT for your chance to select an egg and win a shopping spree valued at $100,000. Conditions apply.
And reflected from the mountain so hot souls can hear it. And I stand on the ocean until I start sinking. And I know my song well before I start singing. It's a heart, it's a heart, it's a heart.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. This week is still being observed as Administrative Professionals Week. It's Administrative Professionals Week, and we're standing by to connect with the All-Island Boss of the Year and Administrative Professional of the Year. Standing by to make that link. In the meantime, Miss Pearl says, good day, Sir D. You know, sir, politics is a part of life. Whether we're PNP or JLP, we pray for them, asking God to direct their path, and for us, the voters, to help guide them. Trust me, the little man or woman can have their say if they will listen to us. Sir D, I'm talking about politics, not politics. Come on, people, we need some brilliant young ones to get into politics, like you, sir, my next prime minister in Jamaica. Sorry to disappoint you, Miss Pearl. Not in this lifetime. Not in this lifetime. Each of us is blessed with certain talents, and the idea is for us to employ our talents for the greater good, and it doesn't always mean becoming a politician. It could very well mean keep doing what you've been doing because you're making a difference. Speaking of making a difference, let's say hello and welcome to the Boss of the Year and the Administrative Professional of the Year. Let's go first and say hello and welcome to the Administrative Professional of the Year, Raquel Burford. Good afternoon. Congratulations. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. I'm good, and I thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you on board, and let's welcome as well Major Karen Burrell, the Boss of the Year. Congratulations, Major Burrell.
Thank you so very much.
Great.
Happy to be here, and thank you for this interview.
Happy to have you on board. Raquel Burford, would you say you are where you dreamt of being when you were a little girl?
Well, not really. I really never thought that I would be here at this moment, but it's a great opportunity. It's a learning experience, and I tell you that I have learned so much just from the coaching sessions alone, and the experience has been great thus far.
Very good.
God thanks, yes.
And Major Burrell, how surprised pleasantly were you, or were you at all surprised when you got the news?
I was very surprised. I think the entire field was a combination of very, very great individuals, very experienced, very qualified, very knowledgeable. And when I looked around and saw that this body was so august, I really had doubt if I could really do this.
Mm-hmm. But here you are, and you have done it. Well done. So then, Raquel Burford, give our listeners an idea of some of the things you had to do in order to participate in this in this exercise of and the race for administrative professional of the year? What, just take us along your journey, please.
Okay, so originally I was nominated for the Administrative Professional of the Year for the Kingston chapter, and that for that we had to do an interview session in order to select the person to represent the chapter. We also had to do an essay on spot, and so that was done, and I was selected as a person to represent the chapter. So for the All Ireland competition, we had coaching sessions. So every Tuesday and Thursday, we had coaching sessions from 7 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. And I tell you, it was a tedious process. It was as if I was back in school. I was after the studying. Sometimes I'm up all night studying for the competition. But I tell you, it is a good experience. As I said before, I have learned so much, and some of the things I didn't think of, that just comes into the coaching sessions. And I just want to thank the persons who really took the time out to coach me, because I mean, each one helps one, and at the end of the day, it's a win-win for both the chapter and for the national chapter as well. And I'm just basking in the glory now, because it was hard work, I tell you. Yes. And I know at the competition itself, we had a brunch, we had a session where we were being judged on business etiquette, social etiquette, how you socialize and all of that. We were all seated at a table with the judges and all the bosses and the other admins. And I mean, it was good. For some reason, I was very comfortable. Seated beside the chief judge, I was very comfortable. And then after that, we had the question segment where I had a main question. First, we had to answer within three minutes, and then we had a scenario question where it was based on scenarios from the office. Mm-hmm. So that's the essence of your experience. Yes, of what happened. And today I'm here as the All Ireland Administrative Professional.
Well done.
Thanks be to God. Yes.
Amen. And Major Burrell, how smooth was your road to the position of Boss of the Year?
Well, I think it was a very seamless process. If I had to look back, I think that the process was what I liked most, in that this process would have honed my leadership skills, my presentation skills, my public speaking skills. And I think that even though the road was one that I had to put a lot of time into improving myself and improving my presentation, how I looked, how I spoke, what I spoke of, and deciding the right things to say at the right time, I think that it is now at the end of the process that the hard work really begins, because now you are a role model officialist and one that person will look up to and would want to hear from. Hear the positives, hear the negatives, hear the advice that you have to give, and as always, being a representative of this august body and your job in particular as well. Mm-hmm. So I think the process was one that I would recommend and one that would develop anyone further in their life.
Well said. Raquel Burford, what are the characteristics that you think are key to anyone who wants to succeed at being a quality administrative professional?
First, I would say such person would need to be very organized. Because at the end of the day, we have to ensure that we are the face of the organization. And we have to organize the activities of our departments, of our bosses. So we have to be persons who are organized so that the activities of the office can run seamlessly. I would also say that we have to become competent at what we do, and we have to communicate well. And we have to remember also that we are not a one-man band, so we have to be a team player. We have to learn to work with others, because that's what it's all about. And we also, I would say, we also have to be able to multitask well, because you will be given different assignments, and we are going to be the ones who have to ensure that we know which ones are important and which ones are more urgent, and we work on them from that point of view. And also the communication comes in at that point as well, because there are times when we would have to be communicating with our bosses, with other team members, in order to know which one of the activities we need to tackle first. And also, we have to be able to manage our time well as well, because sometimes you have the activities, we have to, as admins, I would say, we have to ensure that we have a list of the tasks that we have to do on a daily basis. And based on that task, then we will schedule our time based on what it is that we have to do. But we have to ensure that the time that we put down as well, that it's realistic, because at the end of the day, we want to ensure that whatever we give out is quality. So I would say we need to be also adaptable and flexible and ensure that the work that we do, it speaks for us. So we give out quality work and we work efficiently. And at the end of the day, what we do will be effective.
And Major Burrell, thank you very much, Raquel Burford. Major Burrell, what do you think are the tools necessary, the skill sets necessary in your capacity as a boss, and being the boss of the year? What are some of the items that you need to have in that toolkit of yours in order to function effectively?
I think that first and foremost, you must understand leadership. And there are many ways to look at it. You can look at it as that blend of persuasion, competence, and example, that combination that will allow persons to follow your lead as well as you following their lead as is necessary. I think that we work in teams many times, and therefore when you work in teams, you try to complete a task. But I think that too long we have forgotten that the task is not the only thing you need to look at, but rather the individuals that form the team. If you have those individuals who are well cared for and persons whose needs you look after, I think they will do the work for you or the job for you. I think that as a leader, you need to show courage. You need to show commitment. You need to be someone who's honest. Persons should be able to come to you and see you as somebody who is honest and has integrity. And also loyalty. I think many times leaders want others to be loyal to them, but you need to know as a leader, you need to be loyal to your people. You need to be dedicated and determined. And above all, you need to show humanity, or show your humanity. To be humane, I think, is very important, because no matter where you go or what you do, you're always a human being. And I think we also need to understand that wherever we are, we're all under that all-seeing eye of God Almighty. And with that in mind, that should help frame your actions and what you might do in the future.
Mm-hmm. Well said. What are some of the things expected of the Administrative Professional of the Year, Raquel Burford? Is that like holding the Miss World title or something like that?
Well, no, it would be more of a Miss Jamaica. Yes. But I know that for this week there are numerous activities, because this week is celebrated as Administrative Professionals Week, and tomorrow, Wednesday, will be Administrative Professionals Day. We already have some activities that are passed. We had our church service on Sunday. You'll be aware of it.
Yes.
And yesterday we had a tour at the National Water Commission at Ellison Flat. We also gave a tablet. We had a tablet initiative where we gave a student from the Raytown community.
Sorry, can you tell us some more in just a moment, please? One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock.
Hello, sir. Welcome to...
Stop right here. I want a loan.
Yes,
I don't want no one alone to get approval. I want approval today.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't want even a big capital or small capital because I want a loan with no capital.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
want the high payment, high interest, high fees to give me high blood pressure. I just want a low interest loan that I can live with.
Yes, of course, sir. Access has low interest rates with affordable repayments, and your money sent directly to your bank account. You can get your loan in 2 hours. Yes, sir.
Experience the power of yes with Access. Call 888 Get Access today. Conditions apply. Farmers, see it ya. Saita is here for a wide range of crops. Saita is a highly concentrated double-action fertilizer that corrects calcium deficiencies and also strengthens the plant's immune system against diseases. Saita is environmentally friendly and has no toxic effects on the crops when used as recommended. Saita available at farm stores island-wide. Ask for it. Distributed by Caribbean Chemicals, Jamaica.
The Pesticides Control Authority, PCA, of the Ministry of Health has been onboarded to the Jamaica Single Window for Trade, JSWIFT. Effective April 11, 2022, the Pesticides Control Authority, PCA, has been facilitating online applications of all import permits for pesticides, herbicides, fumigants, and other related products. Traders and their agents will now be able to make online application to obtain both pre- and approved permits and also make payment for the PCA import cess. Benefits include a single application for multiple items within the same shipment, faster processing, increased convenience, and the ease of doing business. The PCA import permit service now on JSWIFT.
both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Stories from Jamaica and across the world, keeping you informed on the issues of the day and more. It's Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm, weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Learn interesting facts and trivia. Participate in lively discussions on affairs locally and internationally. Hear the stories of business, philanthropy, and more from Jamaicans at home and abroad on Both Sides of the Story. Come tell your side of the story. Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm, on a mission to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Weekdays 2 to 5 p.m. live on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Our guests at this time are two illustrious Jamaicans who have arrived at a point in their professional positions of being pretty much the best of Jamaica in more ways than one. We're talking about the administrative professional of the year and the boss of the year. The administrative professional of the year is Raquel Burford, and the boss of the year is Major Karen Burrell. And they've been sharing their stories with us here on Both Sides of the Story on Power 106 FM. When we took the break, Raquel Burford, you were outlining some of the activities and duties that have been and are to be performed, especially during this week, which is Administrative Professionals Week.
Yes. So today we had a courtesy call on the governor at Bank of Jamaica. That's Richard Biles. And tomorrow we have a luncheon. That is.
How did that go? Can you tell us how much is the dollar trading at now?
Yes, it went well. Can I tell you? It was very good.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, tomorrow we have a luncheon. All the chapters will be having luncheon tomorrow. So, and we have 6 chapters over Jamaica.
Yes.
So they are the Kingston chapter, the Portland chapter, St. Mary, Manchester, St. James, and the St. Anne chapters. And in the afternoon, there'll be an award ceremony at 2 o'clock tomorrow. On Thursday, we also have a tour at the Grace Food Processor at Twickenham Close. And on Friday, we have a sensitization session at the Department of Correctional Services. And to top it all off, on Saturday, we have a fun day at the Classican Gardens.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yes. Also, for the administrative profession, the All Ireland Administrative Professional of the Year is tasked with having to do a Labor Day project. And so for this year, we'll be doing our project at the Lincoln Early Childhood Center. So we'll be replacing the toilet bowls and tiling the bathroom facilities.
And
because at some point we have to give back to society, and that's what it's all about.
It sounds like you've been planning for this, because you have money in the kitty to be able to take care of those matters.
Well, we are trying because it's a civic duty.
That's right.
So, yes.
All right. Major Karen Burrell, the All Ireland Boss of the Year. How has it been working with the Association of the Jamaican Association of Administrative Professionals, and how do you see this relationship going forward?
It has been a very, very good experience. I think I was welcomed by the association. I think I've learned a lot from the association, and I always knew the importance of admin professionals, and this allowed me to see the other side. I really like their core values. I think that dignity and the fact that they so ardently believe in the laws of God are really points that I really like. I think that I would really like to pick up all admin professionals all over Jamaica. I'd really like to also pick up my institution, the Bank of Jamaica, and the governor of the Bank of Jamaica. I think they've been really very, very helpful. I think the succession management program and the leadership initiative really prepared me for this competition as well. I'd also like to thank the Jamaica Defense Force and also the reserve and the leadership acumen and skills that they have given me as well has allowed me to really excel. So really and truly, I have a lot to be thankful for, and I really want to give back during this year and onwards. Based on the school I'm taking now.
Very good. Raquel Burford, with which organization are you associated?
The Bank of Jamaica.
All right. Nice. And so it's like keeping it in the family, right?
Right. I tell you.
Nice. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
And
thank you very much.
Is there a page or a website that those listening to us can go to follow the work of the Jamaican Association of Administrative Professionals?
Well, I know that if you type in the Jamaica Administrative Professionals, then their website will come up. I'm not too familiar with the website as yet.
Well, it's the age of Google, so you can just, you're right.
So you Google. I'm not yet a member.
Yes.
Yes, but soon to be.
I'm not surprised that you would want to become a member. So it's jaap.online.org. That's what we're seeing here, and so that's one way to get in touch with the JAAP. But we really want to congratulate all those involved in the preparatory work and the training and the coaching and the public education, etc. And we know this is a busy week for both of you. And of course, the JAAP. And we want to wish you all the very best as you continue to raise the bar and excel. Well done. Congratulations and all the very best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you too. Thank you. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, and taking your calls. A little later on, we take some more of your calls as we clear a few of the scheduled interviews right now. In fact, we also have some messages that we have to clear. Let's see. Sharon Plummer says, "Hello, Sir Malcolm. Kudos. This idiom, there shall be weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth, is written in the New Testament 7 times. We need to set our house in order, as unraveling the mysteries of God's words can only be done by God Himself. We all need to take hell seriously and make sure we shall not weep and wail and gnash our teeth at the conclusion of the age. We shall all likewise perish if we neglect salvation, no matter who you are." Thank you very much, Sharon Plummer, for your message on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp line, same as the text line, 876 365 3346, 876 365 3346. Let's say hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the others who have joined us, like Lloyd Grant. Lloyd Grant says, "Miss Olive, the title of the show is named Both Sides of the Story. Brother D does his best to accommodate all callers and uphold the principles of respect to each other and their views." Thank you very much, Lloyd Grant, for your perspective. Paul Smith says, "Pastor Paul Smith, Washington, D.C., greetings." Well, greetings to you, Pastor Paul Smith in Washington, D.C. Good to have you on board. Thank you for joining us. I think you're the members of the faith leaders in and around the DMV and elsewhere in the U.S. will be converging on Washington, D.C. There's that annual function that is held at the White House, or at least in Washington, D.C. And I think there's usually a delegation who would go to the White House. One Ms. Marion Hall was at the White House on one such occasion about 2 or 3 years ago, I believe. Yeah, Minister Marion Hall. And so all the best to your organization, Pastor Paul Smith in Washington, D.C. Take care. Rani Bell in St. Thomas is tuned in as well. So too, Steve McDonald in Toronto, Canada. He says, "Dervan, I just sent you a picture of Althea." You did? Where is that picture now? Where did you send it? Because I was saying I've forgotten what Althea looks like, because I haven't seen Althea in a long time. But so it is. She has to do what she has to do. Lloyd Grant says, "Sending greetings to the PM and his cabinet and to all the first responders in our country. Thanks to the JDF and JCF rank and file. Big up to our host also. He's very disciplined and informed." Yes, so we do it. Big up, Sir Dervan, says Lloyd Grant. Thank you very much for that warm Jamaican greeting, Lloyd Grant. Junior Jabari says, "Good afternoon to you too, Junior Jabari." Guess who is still in Jamaica? Carol from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. She just couldn't resist the warmth of Jamaica any longer, and she made the trek to Jamaica. So she says, "Greetings, Dervan, Jamaica, and global listeners." And she has hashtag bliss, BLISS, hashtag bliss, and a red heart. And Steve says the picture was posted on Facebook. We're not seeing the picture right now, but for what it's worth, thank you very much for sharing. Let's see. We're not able to access the picture, are we? Hold on, let's see. Trying again, Steve. Yes, this is an old picture. I was looking for a current one, Steve. This one is an old picture. All right, thank you very much. We get the picture. Literally and figuratively. Steve McDonald in Toronto, Canada. Tony Kelly, good afternoon. Tony Kelly says diabetes in Jamaica making the news versus obia. Look what it gone to. And there's an accompanying clip which we haven't been able to listen to. Let's listen to it during this commercial break.
Coast to Coast Concrete, the high-quality concrete for fencing, roofing, foundation, and road surfacing. Call 876-754-7472. The time by Coast to Coast Concrete is
3:15. Did you know that the flu can lead to hospitalization and even death? Pregnant women, persons 60 years and older, babies and children, and persons with a chronic illness such as diabetes, asthma, or heart disease are at a higher risk for complications from the flu. Get the flu vaccine today. Visit your nearest health center and ask to be vaccinated. The flu is no joke. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts, don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes at the front line. Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Your health is key to your wealth. Suffering from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pain? The Rehabilitation Institute of the Caribbean, providing medical care for function and performance in association with Winchester MRI, Jamaica's first choice for MR imaging. Immune Active Drink, a combination of key active ingredients designed to boost the body's natural defense. And Almighty Studios, a recording studio where they create worship music to praise, to worship, and to serve, presents Rehabilitation Now, a 30-minute feature on physical medicine and rehabilitation for people overcoming pain or dysfunction from injury or disease that affects muscles, tendons, nerves, and joints. Rehabilitation Now, with host Alicia Taylor and rehabilitation physician Dr. Paula Dawson, airs every Thursday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. on Power 106. Free your body from aches and pain with Rehabilitation Now.
Who did you meet, my brown-eyed son? Who did you meet, my darling young one? I met a young child beside a dead pony. I met a white man who walked a black dog. I met a young woman whose body was burning. I met a young girl, she gave me a rainbow. I met one man who was wounded in love. I met another man who was wounded with hatred. It's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rain. It's gonna fall. What do we do now, my brown-eyed son? What do we do now, my darling young one? I'm not going back out for the rain starts a falling. I'll walk to the depths of the deepest black forest, where the people are many and their hands are all empty. where the pellets of poison are flooding their water, where the home in the valley meets the damp, dirty prison, where the executioner's face is always well hidden, where the hunger is ugly, where souls are forgotten, where black is the color.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Para 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls a little later on. Stay with us, please. What a bizarre incident at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. Quite bizarre. Apparently, a male patient who is said to be a so-called Don. Let's share it if you missed it. The police were called to the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James this morning after several men turned up to demand the release of a male patient. It is reported that about 10 o'clock this morning, 25 men traveling in 10 motor vehicles drove to the hospital and forced their way inside the accident and emergency ward and demanded the man's release. They reportedly threatened hospital staff and reportedly said there would be trouble if their friend was not handed over to them. Senior medical officer of the Cornwall Regional Hospital, Dr. Derek Harvey, told the Gleaner that staff reported to him that they came under duress from the men. The staff decided to call hospital security and the police. The man, who was being treated for a medical condition, was not quite ready to be discharged, Harvey said. He said the patient subsequently took his own discharge. My understanding is that the patient was conscious at the time and the situation de-escalated once his colleagues collected him and removed him from the property. It is reported that when the police arrived on the scene, it was indicated that the men had reportedly already forced the man's mother to sign his discharge, and he then left in their company. The situation was subsequently calmed. No one was harmed. The police confirmed that the patient, who hails from Mount Horeb in the parish, is not considered to be a Don. An investigation is now being carried out to determine if the patient is involved in any criminal activities. Meanwhile, Harvey noted that incidents like what happened today have happened in the past, noting that security is important. He said today's incident will be reviewed and safety measures reinforced. That's just totally unacceptable. And we hope there are surveillance cameras at Cornwall Regional. We hope they are functional and that we can see from the footage and get a pretty good idea of what exactly transpired. Out of order. That's not how responsible people are supposed to behave. If you behave otherwise, you're not being responsible. Of course, we're hearing other information which is being transmitted or has been transmitted in a most salacious manner. We're not prepared to take that route. We accept to share the story according to the Gleaner. And that story is on the Gleaner's website, jamaica-gleaner.com. And there was a message earlier on. So Carol Williams says, "Hi, Dervan. I heard about the incident at the Cornwall Regional Hospital this morning with a patient who," and well, we're not going to repeat that bit about the Don because the release from the hospital, the information from the hospital is that they don't know of the person being a Don. Well, we'll see. The police will have to help us in that regard. And there's also some talk about a particular diagnosis and the individual possibly, well, we're not going to repeat the rest of it. The rest of it is quite salacious. We'll await further factual details on this matter. All right, Steve, yes, we got it, Steve. And Carol, we got your message as well. She says, Dervan, please say hello to my sister Eve. She's here with me in Miami Bay. Good. That's good to know. Carol, hello, Eve. Good to have you on board. Steve says, like you, I have not seen her for a very long time, in reference to Althea Mackenzie. LOL, says Steve. Ambleton Ray says, Jambo, as in, that's a greeting, I think he told us yesterday. Jambo, brother man Dervan, trusting your family and you are still doing great. I'm here taking in the education and information. Large up yourself, Ambleton Ray from Horton Grove in Hanover. Thank you very much, Ambleton Ray from Horton Grove in Hanover, for your message. And Cherry, Miss Cherry says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. Good afternoon, Miss Cherry. Welcome. Thank you very much. Gian in Chantilly, Portland says, yes, Teach, I'm here listening and watching the big match, Man City versus Real Madrid. No champ, what's this? Yet, and until City, no champagne yet until City win the Champions League. We hear you, Gian in Chantilly, Portland. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your message. And Leo Gilling says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Good afternoon, Leo Gilling. How are you? He says the Early Childhood Commission, ECC, and JD Tan for the second time are collaborating on the upcoming ECC Professional Development Institute. There are more than 3,000 registered already, and we look forward to sharing more information so that others can come on board. We read you loud and clear, Leo Gilling. Thanks for sharing, and we will be in touch. And Miss Pearl, in reference to what happened at Cornwall Regional, says, that's crazy. That's crazy. Indeed, it is. All right, where last week we introduced you to the organization This is Jamaica. For those who were tuned in last week, around this time, just after 3:30, we shared with you information, and we had the pleasure of the company of the founder of This is Jamaica, Mr. Peter Gracie, and we also had the executive director, or the president of the organization, Carol Chang, and we learned a lot about the work of the organization. They've only just begun. There's a lot more work to come, and we have promised to track their progress over time and to provide an opportunity for not only members of the diaspora, the Jamaican diaspora, but also friends of Jamaica who would like to partner, to collaborate, to share, to volunteer, etc. There's a lot. There is a lot to come as far as This is Jamaica is concerned. And I think since we're this close to the break, we're going to take the break. And then right after the break, we come back with our guests. After this one was scheduled before, actually.
Where have you been, my darling young one? I've stumbled on the side of 12 misty mountains. I walked and I've crawled and 6 crooked highways. I've stepped in the middle of 7 sad forests. I've been out in front of a dozen dead oceans. I've been 10,000 miles in the
Importers, provide proper invoices for customs when presenting goods for examination. This could prevent delays during clearance. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:30.
Hello, sir. Welcome to.
Stop right here. I want a loan.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't want no run around to get approval. I want approval today.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't want you with a big capital or small capital because I want a loan with no capital.
Yes,
I don't want
sir.
any high payment, high interest, high fees to give me high blood pressure. I just want a low interest loan that I can live with.
Yes, of course, sir. Access has low interest rates with affordable repayments, and your money sent directly to your bank account. You can get your loan in 2 hours. Yes, sir.
Experience
So what's the
power
story
of
with the
yes
other one?
Access. Call 888 Get Access today. Conditions apply.
Come to Stewart's Hardware 2-day spring super sale. Friday, April 29th and Saturday, April 30th. 2 days filled with super discounts.
All right, just tell the
Get
other
all hardware,
person
houseware,
and
plants,
see
and
if
lots more
she can help
affordable
you
rewards
to make a
at super sweet
connection.
prices. You
In
see,
which
we can't
case-
afford to miss Stewart's Hardware spring sale. That's April 29th and 30th. There'll be fantastic savings just for you. Stewart's Hardware and Home Center, building value.
Your health is key to your wealth. Suffering from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pain?
Because
The
we could push that
Rehabilitation
back
Institute of the
while we
Caribbean,
get the other
providing medical
person
care
and
for
go with
function and
these two
performance in
that I
association
just
with
sent you.
Winchester MRI, Jamaica's first choice for MR imaging. Immune Active Denk, a combination of key active ingredients designed to boost the body's natural defense. And Almighty Studios, a recording studio where they create worship music to praise, to worship.
Yeah,
and to
the
serve.
two that I
Presents
sent you a while ago. Yeah, that
Rehabilitation Now,
those.
a 30
Let's just do those now then while we get the other person.
For people overcoming pain or dysfunction from injury or
Yeah.
disease that affects muscles, tendons, nerves, and joints. Rehabilitation Now with host Alicia
I'm not hearing
Taylor
you.
and rehabilitation physician Dr. Carla Dawson airs every Thursday.
No, it's not one.
6 p.m. on Power 106. Free your body from aches and
Oh yes, yeah.
Rehabilitation Now.
Yeah. Sorry. All right. Yes, because we want to have them both on. All right.
It's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard rain. It's gonna fall. Who did you meet, my brown-eyed son?
Thank you very much for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. We're standing by to link with This Is Jamaica. And if you need to learn more, go to thisisjamaica.org. In the meantime, thisisjamaica.org. But before we go there, there is a significant observance happening. It's called National School Moves Day. National School Moves Day. And it's scheduled for Friday. That's this Friday. So this Friday, the 29th of April, we'll see the launch of National School Moves Day. And who better to tell us all about it than the man who has been assigned, Mr. Elton Johnson, Education Officer with responsibility for physical education and sports within the Ministry of Education and Youth. Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Dervan Malcolm. Good afternoon to your listeners. Thanks for having me. I'm very well.
Great. It's a pleasure to have you on both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. What's the significance of National School Moves Day 2022?
Well, National School Moves Day is very, very significant. Let me just put it in context before I tell you exactly how significant it is.
Right.
Now, National School Moves Day is a part of the wider Jamaica Moves in school program. So what we do on National School Moves Day is to commemorate the importance and the impact of movement education, right? And to also promote physical activity.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have done several surveys and we're also influenced by what happens internationally.
Yes.
So let me just share a little data with you.
Please do.
Right. So according to a survey that was done by the Global School Health Survey,
Mm-hmm.
and a report conducted in 2010 and in 2017, it was reported that adolescents, 53% of those aged 13 to 15 spend more time on hours sitting. 27% of those are physically inactive.
Uh-oh.
Yes, and 22% of those eat fast food 3 or more days per week,
That's serious.
while 14 do not consume any vegetables at all.
Not good.
Not good at all.
Mm-mm.
You know, and so coming out of that, we have formed a relationship with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, an umbilical relationship actually,
Mm-hmm.
and we have been on a drive to build awareness as it relates to physical activity among students, but not just students, teachers and parents alike.
Yes.
You know, and so this program, is an initiative of the Ministry of Health and Wellness in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. Now, our inaugural National School Moves Day was held in 2019 at the LMI School, involving a number of schools across the island. Now, with this particular School Moves Day, which is scheduled for the 29th of April, will be what we call the virtual edition, right? Under the theme for a healthy body, come make we move. You know, so all schools are expected to, put away their regular schedule and participate in some form of physical activity, either by joining virtually or they can participate in activities that were put on by, the physical education department.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we also we would have partnered with the Principals and Vice Principal Association of Jamaica. Also the Jamaica Association of Primary School and Infants have also collaborated with us. So it's a collaborative effort with all stakeholders as it relates to the school.
So what's going to so Friday, I gather, is the launch of the National School Moves Day. What is going to take place on the actual day, which is this Friday, the 29th of April?
Right. So it's a special 1 hour event. As was suggested, it will be hosted by the Ferncourt High School. That's in St. Anne for those persons who don't know where that school is domiciled. And the program is packed with exciting sessions, including low impact cardio sessions, vital physical activity tips, and essential nutrition information. Let me just add that the Jamaica Moves in School program has 3 pillars, right? So it's healthy eating, physical activity, and health checks. And all of these will come out on National School Move Day. Mm-hmm. So the event, Mr. Malcolm, will be accessible on several platforms, right? So it will be streamed live on Zoom on the ministry's page, the ministry's Facebook pages, and on YouTube as well.
And is this going to be mostly virtual or hybrid, virtual and face to face?
it is a hybrid kind of a setup.
Yes.
But because we still have the COVID-19 pandemic, affecting us, we have limited the number of schools that will be on the ground, as well as we have limited the amount of students that will participate physically in that space.
Mm-hmm.
However, we have encouraged the schools to join, virtually, and also partake in the activities that will be streaming live.
What time will you be starting these activities on Friday?
Right. So we're going to start on at 12 noon, and that's for 1 hour. So we conclude at 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm. And is this with the changes to the protocols with respect to schools being fully in session now? Is this an indication that the Jamaica Moves program in schools will now pick up where they left off at the start of the pandemic?
Quite so. We know that for the 2 years, many of our students were not necessarily physically active, and many of our students actually depend on the physical education program to actually participate in some form of physical activity. And really and truly, when we did our survey, we really saw that there's a great need, no more than ever, for this kind of a program. So we're going full force in terms of engaging our students in some form of way, or to promote physical activity amongst the school population.
But these statistics you have shared with us are quite startling, and it means that we're going to have to work overtime now, considering the sedentary lifestyles that we've been living under lockdown and related activities. Surely we're going to have to work triple or quadruple times in order to make up for lost time, in a manner of speaking, don't we?
Exactly, and that is why we want our parents to be equally involved in this program as well, because it doesn't end at the school. It has to continue in the home.
That's right.
With the parents to actually assist their child or children, with engaging in some form of physical activity. And even the parents themselves can also be, physically active.
So I take it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, we have also put together a booklet that can assist, parents and students alike. So if you don't know what to do, there is some simple tips, some simple activities that you can do anywhere. It doesn't need a lot of equipment or a lot of space. It can be done right there in your home. So we are craving the indulgence of the parents.
Right, got you. And so at midday on Friday, the 29th of April, it's a classic case of stop what you're doing and get fit right away.
Drop everything and get fit.
Yes.
Participating, be engaged, be involved. And it's going to be exciting because there will be some prizes and surprises as well.
Very good. And this is right across the spectrum in terms of cohort of students, early childhood, primary, prep, secondary. Is that the spectrum you're looking at?
Right across, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Excellent. Well, we want to encourage our children to get busy, get fit, and start moving. The National School Moves Day will be observed on Friday, this Friday, the 29th. So make sure it would be nice to prepare the students by having them wear gym wear. I don't know if that is included in the package, but I'm just saying.
Yes, the system was informed of the attire and the expectations. So we are well prepared, and we are just ready to go on Friday.
How can the young people of this country and the general school population and the broader Jamaican population follow and learn from the National School Moves Day activities, or just the Jamaica Moves in Schools program? Those who want to just be sure that they are keeping up with the activities and the programs. Where can they turn?
So the thing is, this is a part of the physical education program. So the physical education teachers actually drive the program in the school.
Oh,
Right. So it's not like we're just launching this program. We have been doing things inside the schools for years, even in lockdown. So there's a part of the program that encourages teachers and students alike to engage in what we call 3 5-minute break of physical activity. So when you're changing
speaking of break, one moment. We have to wrap. We're going to wrap after this break. One moment, please.
She gave me a rainbow.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
Lubit, the home of lubricant products. Test Star lubricant products. Sunoco race fuels. Fuel Tech cleaning and polishing services. Lubit industrial and automotive fluids are well recognized globally. Their products adhere to the highest standards and specification within each product category. They distribute island-wide for commercial and industrial use. Lubit products and expertise are second to none. Lubit lubricant products. Distributed by Caribbean Offshore Trading Company Limited. Call 649-7540. That's 649-7540. Call now.
Now, JPS lines can fall out for a number of reasons. Car accident, people putting trees on lines, or a hurricane. If you see a JPS line down, do not touch it. Don't jump on it. Do not try to move it. Call the professionals at JPS so they can deal with it. JPS is more than happy to sort out the problem once they know it exists. If you try to mess with a fallen power line, you can cause damage to yourself. Stay safe. Protect life and property. For assistance, call JPS at 888-225-5577. JPS, powering one.
The Pesticides Control Authority, PCA, of the Ministry of Health has been onboarded to the Jamaica Single Window for Trade, J-Swift. Effective April 11, 2022, the Pesticides Control Authority, PCA, has been facilitating online applications of all import permits for pesticides,
You're all right with the other
fumigants, and other related products. Traders and their agents will now be able to make online application to obtain both pre- and approved permits, and also make payment for the PCA import cess. Benefits include a single application for multiple items within the same shipment, faster processing, increased convenience, and ease of doing business. The PCA import permit service now on J-Swift. April is Farmers Month, and we're giving back to you. Tune in every Wednesday during Farming Today on Farm Talk as we give away prizes and surprises. Also, learn about some of the institutions which play an important role as catalysts for Jamaica's future farmers. That's Farming Today, every Wednesday during Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:45 a.m. Brought to you by Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited, 2 East Ashenine Road, Kingston.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And we're just about getting ready to wrap. As you would have heard if you've been listening, Friday is a significant day in our schools. Friday, the 29th of April, is National School Moves Day. And we've been getting the details from Mr. Elton Johnson, Education Officer with responsibility for physical education and sports in the Ministry of Education and Youth. And Mr. Johnson will allow you to complete what you were saying just before the break.
Yes, I was telling you that a part of the program also is that schools are expected to conduct 3 5-minute breaks on a daily basis. And they can do that however they want. If it's in the mornings, when they're breaking for class, or in the afternoon, so they must do 3 5-minute breaks to build awareness with the children, and also to complete 1 hour of physical activity outside of your regular physical education class.
Excellent.
So, right. So National School Moves Day now is the culmination of all of this. And just to build up wider awareness among Americans on a whole. So, it's my intention, it's my hope to see not just our schools, but our institutions, celebrating movement, celebrating nationally physical activity.
We're definitely looking forward, and we are sure that the children are going to be having a lot of fun on Friday working out. Thank you very much.
Right, so
All the very best to you and the team, Elton Johnson. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
thanks for having me.
Take care. You're welcome. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Para 106 FM, the story of Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad. And it's time for us. Yes, we've been telling you coming up, we've been saying this is Jamaica. And it's time for us to revisit This is Jamaica and give you the very latest on the organization. You can learn more by going to thisisjamaica.org. Thisisjamaica.org. To tell us more, we are happy to have the Director of Marketing for This is Jamaica, Dawn Wilson. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm actually fabulous. How are you?
Well, I can't compete with you and being fabulous, but I'll try. Also online we have the Executive Director of Caribbean Community Service Center, Sophia Chu. How are you?
I am doing just about how Miss Dawn is doing. A little bit warm, cold here in Michigan, but hanging in there.
Well, you know what we say in Jamaica, don't let go. Don't let go. Just keep Well, welcome, ladies. Good to have you on board. Dawn Wilson, can you give us a sense of the marketing strategy for This is Jamaica? What kind of approaches have you employed so far? What else are you looking to employ in terms of marketing in order to meet the objectives of This is Jamaica?
Well, we're actually in the planning stages, so you will see a lot of marketing pieces across social media coming your way. Of course, the best way to market is word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
The children are so important in this that and our culture, which is what this poem, This is Jamaica, speaks to, how we are so Jamaican and embedded in our culture. We love our country, and it's really a phenomenal program for kids. And so it's important for us as parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, everyone, siblings, just to share what these amazing kids are doing. And if you haven't seen last year's episode, it's an opportunity to not only watch it, but share it, because that's part of marketing as well. So word of mouth is our biggest thing, and just giving all the love and respect to our children.
Very, very good. So tell us now, Sophia Chu, about the Caribbean Community Service Center and how your organization has been relating to This is Jamaica. What's the nature and extent of the relationship between This is Jamaica and Caribbean Community Service Center?
Okay, so the Caribbean Community Service Center supports, empowers, and advocates for Caribbean nationals in the Americas. We happen to be headquartered in the city of Detroit, Michigan. So as we prepare for independence this year, as a member of the diaspora, we took a look at some programming that we could do to involve the Jamaican Americans that are here with us. And we ran across the This is Jamaica poetry competition and thought it was a fantastic way for our folks here to get involved in, just expressing our love for Jamaica and teaching us to our children. So we linked up with the This is Jamaica organization and decided to go down this path to involve the Jamaican Americans here in Michigan to be a part of the competition. Our portal opens from April the 15th through July the 15th, and we will be doing our program to end on Independence Weekend here in Michigan.
I see. And can you remind us, Dawn Wilson, we don't want to assume that everybody listening now heard the last interview and got the background of This is Jamaica. In a few sentences, what's the essence of the organization known as This is Jamaica?
So it's actually an amazing and powerful poem written by Peter Gracie, and it speaks to the rich culture of the country. And one of the phrases I love in this poem says, no matter where I am, I want to come home to Jamaica should I die. So it's just a powerful poem about the rich culture and heritage that we love and embrace. And when you see the children all the children that participated, because it was really, really powerful and strong.
In fact, let me help you to make it more palpable, so people can feel a little closer to the work. This masterpiece of a poem. So stick a pin, as my late mother would say. Stick a pin right there, and we're going to play the "This Is Jamaica" poem for those who are yet to hear it, by Peter Gracie.
This is Jamaica. This is my country. A son of this island, a daughter of this land. Fearless of fear, I stand in awe. Only love prevails, secured in God's hands. This is Jamaica, where joy cometh in the morn, surrounded by mystic waters, crashing upon the shores where only heroes are born. Only if you knew Jamaica as well as I do, then you would utter, I love you, Jamaica. God knows I do. This is Jamaica, a simple speck in the universe. Our hearts beat and pulse in every nation, but only second to the kingdom of God. We put Jamaica first. I am Jamaican, regardless of where you may find me. Black, green, and gold is the marrow in my bones. So if I die away from my island, I pray to God you'll take me home.
Peter Gracie, This Is Jamaica. So with that having been played, Dawn Wilson, pick up on the point you're making now, just in terms of they going on to tell us about the children and their involvement in the competition.
Thank you for playing that powerful point.
Yes.
So perfect. And for the children to deliver that poem with their own creativity, their own voices, and being able to showcase the island and the culture and our athletes, our food. I mean, it is just unbelievable what these children were able to do, which made it so difficult to judge last year. Mm-hmm. So we can't wait to see what comes this year.
Right. So are you accepting entries already?
No, it's not open for entry yet.
Okay, not yet. So that just in case there are students standing by and listening out and going, oh, I didn't get to participate in that. When is the next one?
Absolutely. So the marketing will be coming soon. We're in the planning stages, and we'll certainly announce that and also share with you as well.
Very good. So Sophia Chu, give us a little more on the work of the Caribbean Community Service Center and how you view the future of the relationship between Caribbean Community Service Center and This Is Jamaica.
So the Caribbean Community Service Center, we actually do a lot of advocacy work here for Caribbean nationals when it comes around immigration, when it comes around professional development, educational development, and sports, arts, and culture in Michigan. So we have a lot of relationship with, for example, the City of Detroit Entertainment Commission. So when we have acts or entertainers that are here, we make sure that our voices are being heard.
Good.
As it regards our relationship with the This Is Jamaica Poetry Competition, and this is in my mind, right? I'm hoping that what we can do is do some kind of collaboration where we can maybe do an exchange program. So we can have, for example, the winner of the competition in Jamaica come to the States to perform here, like when we do one of our festivals. So that'll be something that we can talk about and see how we can best do that, because it's nothing like a Jamaican child that talk about the love and passion for their country.
Yes, indeed. Hold it right there. Well said. We know we're scheduled to end at this point. Bear with us. We'll come back up for a few more minutes with you, ladies. One moment, please.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock. The world's longest running off-road triathlon is back. The South Coast will be abuzz on Saturday, April 30, with the 26th staging of the Jake's annual off-road triathlon. Be part of the prestige, food, and fun in Treasure Beach, St. Elizabeth. For further information on registration, contact Jake's Hotel, Treasure Beach. The Jake's 26th annual off-road triathlon is sponsored by Water, Nature Valley, Powerade, Toyota Jamaica, Malta, Couples Resorts, Beyond Sunset Resort, and YS Falls. Before it gets worse, take Benjamin's Relief for stuffy nose, cold, flu, cough, sinus, and allergy symptoms. Lay back, relax, and get fast, effective relief from Benjamin's, a trusted name for over a century.
Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Stories from Jamaica and across the world, keeping you informed on the issues of the day and more. It's Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm, weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Learn interesting facts and trivia. Participate in lively discussions on affairs locally and internationally. Hear the stories of business, philanthropy, and more from Jamaicans at home and abroad on Both Sides of the Story. Come tell your side of the story. Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm, on a mission to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Weekdays, 2 to 5 p.m. Live on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
¿Qué hora es en espagnol? Son las 4:02. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:02. 现在 TDN 了4 DN Leung R Fen. 2 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We're once again featuring the organization This is Jamaica. And let's remind the youngsters, scholarships are available. The criteria are on the website, the thisisjamaica.org website. If you need to learn more about submitting your application and reciting the poem This is Jamaica, written by Peter Gracie, and putting together that MP4 video format and so on and so forth. All this information is on the website. And there's the This is Jamaica Poetry Scholarship Award of $1,000 for the best rendition of This is Jamaica by Peter Gracie. But if you need to learn more, you'll have to go to the website to read up more. thisisjamaica.org. We've been getting some information, though, more than enough information, from Dawn Wilson, Director of Marketing for This is Jamaica. And in the spirit of partnership and collaboration, Sophia Chu, representing the Caribbean Community Service Center in the state of Michigan. She's the executive director. And so what is your timeline looking like now, ladies? Let's start with you first, Dawn Wilson. Here we are. Today is the 26th of April in terms of activities, programs, initiatives, upcoming and otherwise. What is your calendar looking like, Dawn Wilson, as far as This is Jamaica is concerned?
So
as I mentioned, we are in the planning stages of it. I've personally been out of action due to some deaths in my family. So I'm just getting back in the swing of things to start the marketing for this particular, This is Jamaica. So we'll have timelines coming, and everything will also be shared on thisisjamaica.org as well.
Very good. And Sophia Chu, how is your schedule looking for the rest of this year as far as the Caribbean Community Service Center is concerned?
So currently, our portal is open for the This is Jamaica Poetry Competition. You can get that information on our website, CaribbeanCommunitySC.org, or you can email us at watchusgrowmi@gmail.com to see what's going on. In addition to the This is Jamaica Poetry Competition, we also hold a 6-week Millennium Girls program for young girls aged 10 through 14. It's a 6-week program that teaches them about celebrating their ancestral connections all the way from Africa through the Caribbean and in the Americas. So that typically starts in July. And like I mentioned, it's a 6-week program. So we stay very busy because we have to teach people about who we are. So when we're in the same spaces, we can support each other.
Very well said, very well put. Ladies, we want to thank you very much for the ease with which you are able to do all the work that you have been doing so far, and similarly the ease with which you have been able to share with us on today's edition of both sides of the story, featuring This is Jamaica. Just before we wrap, once again want to give you the opportunity to share details in terms of contact information. How can people follow the work of your respective organizations? This is Jamaica and Caribbean Community Service Center. So, we like to say here, the R in radio is for repetition, and they say repetition is the greatest form of pedagogy. And so we want to make sure our listeners get the information, because if we don't do this, then I'm going to get a call close to midnight to say, Mr. Malcolm, I hear you talking to this lady, and then about this and that, and I want a number for them. So please, ladies, general contact information, website information, Facebook, so that people can follow the work of This is Jamaica and also the Caribbean Community Service Center out of Michigan. Who wants to go first?
So I can go first. This is Sophia.
Sophia?
Sorry.
Okay. Well, okay. Look
So, who will go first? Me
All right. All right. Go ahead, Sophia. Go ahead, Sophia.
Okay. So our Facebook page is Caribbean Community Service Center.
Mhm.
Our IG is Caribbean Community SC. And our email address is watchusgrowmi.
Email address. Please repeat it. Watch
Us Grow MI, which is the abbreviation
for Michigan. Yes.
Right. watchusgrowmi@gmail.com.
I love it. And so Don Wilson, you have to better that now. I'm kidding. Go ahead with the information.
Sorry. So you can actually go on thisisjamaica.org and register and find out everything about the program. We're also on YouTube as well. The Caribbean Edge Kids, which is a platform that I personally started, where we have kids read out loud and we have storytellers, another way to spread our beautiful culture. So we had the opportunity to host This is Jamaica Poetry Scholarship last year. And so you can also check us out on Facebook and YouTube as well. So both ways to find us, through the Caribbean Edge Kids or through This is Jamaica.
Excellent. Well, look, it's been quite delightful having you both on. Thank you so much for sharing. And we stand ready. We're on radio 6 days a week. And so we stand ready to track the progress of your respective organizations and to help to facilitate and encourage further partnerships, collaborations, etc. All things being well, we look forward to being here to playing our part in that regard. In the meantime, I think we have taken up more than enough of your time. Thank you both so much, ladies. It's been a pleasure, and we look forward to speaking with you again.
Our pleasure. Thanks again for the opportunity.
Indeed, the pleasure has been ours. Dawn Wilson, Director of Marketing for This Is Jamaica, and you can learn more by going to thisisjamaica.org. And Sophia Chu she's the Executive Director of the Caribbean Community Service Center in Michigan. And the email there, I know I remember it because it's easy to remember. Watch us grow MI. Is it .com? Oops. Help, ladies. Is it .com?
At Gmail.
At Gmail. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So watch us grow mi@gmail.com.
You got it.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, ladies. And so we're going to go out for this segment now with the poem once again by Peter Gracie. This is Jamaica. Take care, ladies.
This is Jamaica. This is my country. A son of this island, a daughter of this land. Fearless of fear, I stand in awe. Only love prevails, secured in God's hands. This is Jamaica, where joy cometh in the morn, surrounded by mystic waters, crashing upon the shores where only heroes are born. Only if you knew Jamaica as well as I do, then you would utter, I love you, Jamaica. God knows I do. This is Jamaica, a simple speck in the universe. Our hearts beat and pulse in every nation, but only second to the kingdom of God. We put Jamaica first. I am Jamaican, regardless of where you may find me. Black, green, and gold is the marrow in my bones. So if I die away from my island, I pray to God you'll take me home.
Peter Gracie, this is Jamaica, ending this week's connection with This is Jamaica. All things being well, we should have another link next Tuesday. In the meantime, thank you so much for your indulgence here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. And Thornley Brown says, I am surprised. When did Jamaican children being physically active? Something is not right here, but I think you're asking when did Jamaican children stop being physically active based on the survey. I think your question is coming based on the information that was shared earlier on by the representative from the physical education section of the Ministry of Education and Youth, Mr. Elton Johnson, when he shared with us on the program a few minutes ago that global school health survey, which was done in 2010 and 2017, reported some alarming data about our adolescents. 53% of those aged 13 to 15 spent 3 or more hours just sitting. 27% of them are physically inactive. 22% of our children eat fast food 3 or more days per week, while 14% do not eat any vegetables at all. Ce n'est pas quelque chose de bon. That's not something good. That's not good at all. We have some work to do. So make sure you encourage your children to participate in School Moves, National School Moves Day on Friday the 29th at midday.
Get high-quality blinds and beautiful windows, drapes, and wooden flooring from Sam the Blind Man, 40 Barnett Street, Montego Bay. The time by Sam the Blind Man is $4.50.
Importers, traders, brokers, Jamaicans at home and abroad. Want to know more about providing proper invoices to customs and get your valuation questions ventilated? Then join the Jamaica Customs Agency for its CCC online engagement forum. Click, connect, and converse with customs on Thursday, April 28, 2022 from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. under the theme, Your Invoice Matters. Visit www.jacustoms.gov.jm to register and to participate. Log on and get it right as Your Invoice Matters. That's Thursday, April 28, 2022, starting at 10:30 a.m. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Are you an NWC customer with multiple properties? You can add account numbers for those properties to be serviced using a single login profile. Just go to nwcjamaica.com and visit the customer web access portal. Try it now.
Your taxes hold the key. Tax Administration Jamaica presents Make We Talk Tax, Wednesdays at 3:15 p.m. on both sides of the story, a program that educates and informs taxpayers of the various payment options.
This has been running for weeks,
Tax Administration Jamaica,
but there's no
and the ease
program.
of doing business. Make We Talk Tax is a production of Tax Administration Jamaica, working together to serve you even better.
I reported it.
April is
But
Farmers
I don't know,
Month,
it's
and
still
we're
in the
giving
system.
back to you. Tune in every Wednesday during Farming Today on Farm Talk as we give away prizes and surprises. Also learn about some of the institutions which play an important role as catalysts for Jamaica's future farmers. That's Farming Today, every Wednesday during Farm Talk, 6:18 to
Afternoon,
6:45
Steve
a.m.
McDonald. Thank you for
Brought to you by
calling. Just a
Caribbean
moment,
Chemicals
please. We haven't
Jamaica
forgotten
Limited,
you. One
2
moment,
East
please.
Ashenheim Road, Kingston.
What did you hear, my darling young one? I heard the sound of a thunder, it rolled out a warning. I heard the roar of a wave that could drown the whole.
Thanks a lot. Que hora es en español? Son las 4:17. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:17. 现在几点了？4点17分。17 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Make that 18 minutes now past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level or the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. And those of you preparing for CSEC and CAPE exams, we hope you get the results that you work for. Nothing more, nothing less. And as we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Anne Thornley Brown says, I had my son in soccer, football, and when he requested it, hockey and horse riding. Horseback riding, I think you mean. Is that just for recreational purposes, or is he involved in equestrian sports? Just curious to find out. And Thornley Brown, thank you very much. And then she says, what is the name of the man who voices your commercials? He sounds great. You might be referring to Jesse Blake, or executive producer. I think so. I think you're referring to Jesse Blake, yes. And Thornley, right? And then she says, great initiatives, in reference to the segment a while ago. And she has posted the This is Jamaica link on in the Facebook stream. And thank you very much. Wonderful. Let's go now to Steve McDonald, who has been waiting patiently. It's been 8 minutes and 55 seconds. Thanks for your patience, Steve.
Thanks very much. I didn't realize that Jesse is now an executive producer. I haven't heard from him in a long as well. Congratulations.
Yes,
That's
yes,
good.
indeed. Yes.
Moving on up.
That's right.
I love the poem that
Peter Gracie.
This is Jamaica.
Yeah, that's by Peter Gracie. You can Google it.
Yeah, as the ultimate yard man. I like it. People like myself and Angela and Foreign, we don't even speak with an accent because we don't want nobody mix us and don't realize that we're yard people.
Yes.
But reason for my call, what's on my mind as that has been trending in your show from the day. Three things actually. One, I heard today, or I saw in the Gleaner, there was this Kingston, a prominent Kingston school that I think blocked out some students because of the length of their hair. I saw a picture of some students which were outside. I am not sure if those are the students that they're having problem with. But based on what I've seen, I don't understand why that should present that length should present a challenge. And also, I'm thinking of how children are dressed here in North America, and how the length of their hair. I think in my mind it would be more important. The importance should be placed on having the children in school and ensure that they're educated, rather than worrying about the length of their hair. Certainly here in North America, people are wearing a different style of hair, and even in Jamaica Parliament, I remember that there are one or two, certainly in the Parliament as an MP and in the Senate, there are a couple of people who have, a couple of men who have long hair and which rasta. I understand that some schools allow children which are of the Rastafarian religion to wear their hair locks. I have a challenge when someone is of a particular faith that they can wear their hair in one way, and if I'm not of that particular faith, I'm not allowed to wear my hair in the same manner. I think it should be the same for both. I don't understand that difference.
Well, I'm happy to have attended a school where that was never and still has never ever been a problem with respect to students of the Rastafarian faith. They, in fact, what we know of them, the students I'm aware of at my alma mater of the Rastafarian faith, that every single one of them has excelled. They don't fail. They always excel. They always do well. That's one of the things I can say about those children of the Rastafarian faith who we went to school with and who have, since we left school, have been attending school They continue to do exceptionally well.
Yeah, I can think of Dr. Knife, and I don't know which school he went to, but I'm
St.
just thinking
George's
that
College.
if he was a
St.
child,
George's College.
all right. So, as a child, if he was a child with the same hairstyle, he would not, basically in some schools, he would not be allowed to go in. And as you probably know, that my school, which I won't call the name at the moment, were having problems with females that were wearing China bump. So, which was just very unfortunate, and a lot of us speak out against it at the time, and so hopefully they saw the errors of their ways and shall never ever again something like that. But I hope that one of the things too, I must say that time come for the ministry to put out something on this. They have been woefully, what they have done so far has been woefully inadequate. I remember from Ruel Reed, in his time, there was an incident, and he promised some legislation, and he put out something that was very weak. And since then, since the incident at that prominent high school in Westmoreland, Terry Long had said that government was working on something, and today nothing has come out. I think that was 2019. I think the ministry needs to stand up now and show some leadership where this is concerned, and put out a policy so that is not determined by any principal who don't like a particular hairstyle, or what I gather from this latest one, the principal is saying, if I can pinch your hair, it's too long, right? Which to me is ridiculous. And we need to move beyond this level of stiffness, I would call it. The other thing I wanted to touch on is,
before you move on, stick a pin. Remember what you're going on to. Just to say that, having said all of that, let's recognize that in any society, anywhere in the world, we need to have standards. And yes, we know standards can be subjective, depending on certain individuals, institutions, organizations, etc. But our children, it is ideal for our children to learn about standards, so that they are, fine, when they become adults, by all means, they are free. But as long as they remain children, then we expect a certain level of decorum from our children. But then we'd have to set the example. So, which is why I'm saying the standards are important. We have to have standards. I'm not into the nit.
Agree with you.
I'm not coming to you. We're not necessarily speaking of the nitpicking in some of the instances, but just some fundamental standards of what is acceptable and what is not, because that's what societies do. Societies create what are called social constructs. So the society says this is acceptable and this is not acceptable. That is why I couldn't be on air using expletives. Never have in my life and never will. And so there must be that recognition that we have to have standards. We have to set them, and we must surpass them.
I totally agree with you on that, and you mentioned as adults you're free, but as you just mentioned, you're not really totally free, because as you just mentioned, you can't say anything on air or whatever you so desire to say on air. So we have standards and rules which govern our society, and that we have to abide by. But again, you can see rules, standards and rules, as you mentioned, which makes sense. A teacher should not be that a teacher decide that, hey, if your hair is not touching your shoulders, I don't want you to come to the school. Or if your hair is not purple, you cannot attend the school. So we need to have rules that make sense. And basically, that is what
But
I'm
here's the
seeing
thing.
right now.
But hold on, stick up in, Steve. I'm fine with that. And my thing though is we have the stakeholders have to be involved. We have the school, we have the home, we have the ministry, all the stakeholders, and of course, naturally the students themselves, the student body, the broader student body. Just a moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. Your health is key to your wealth. Suffering from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pain? The Rehabilitation Institute of the Caribbean, providing medical care for function and performance in association with Winchester MRI, Jamaica's first choice for MR imaging. Immune Active Denk, a combination of key active ingredients designed to boost the body's natural defense. And Almighty Studios, a recording studio where they create worship music to praise, to worship, and to serve, presents Rehabilitation Now, a 30-minute feature on physical medicine and rehabilitation for people overcoming pain or dysfunction from injury or disease that affects muscles, tendons, nerves, and joints. Rehabilitation Now, with host Alicia Taylor and rehabilitation physician Dr. Paula Dawson, airs every Thursday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. on Power 106. Free your body from aches and pain with Rehabilitation Now.
Que hora es en espagnol? Son las 5:29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:29. Tien sai tidian le u dien cha ar shir jiao fen. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. I'll just quickly say this and then allow you, Steve, in Toronto, Canada, that we have to, whatever the policy is, if the policy allows a certain latitude to the individual schools, then the individual schools, let's be frank, let's be careful, but let's be frank. We need people who are measured, who are thoughtful, who seek not just to be understood, but also and importantly to understand. People who can act with a high level of integrity, a high level of dignity, and a general regard for people, and recognizing that we're in the business of people, and that we must apply a level of wisdom. Wisdom is key. Not everybody is at that point where they can. We need people who are judicious to occupy some of these positions when it comes to the rules, the regulations, the systems, the processes, the procedures. So if the school has the latitude, that kind of latitude, whoever is the ultimate decision maker must be a person who is judicious, a person who is cerebral, one who is able to make sound decisions. Sound decisions. Very important, very important. And if it's not the purview of the individual schools, but of the Ministry of Education and Youth, then surely the same applies, that those who are put in those positions, the ultimate decision makers, can't just be any and anybody. Those who are chosen for those positions must be handpicked in order to ensure the highest level of performance in terms of the quality of the decisions that are made.
I agree with you, and also I think everyone who are or whichever school, if it's done from a school level, the person who's making that decision, they will always, I think, apply some level of subjectivity to it, based on to the decision that they're going to make, based on their own customs or that may be related to their particular school. So if a school is of Christian background, if I can put it that way, they may want to have a certain set of values. If another school may be of Rastafarian background, they may see things differently. But at the same time, they would say that their people have met all the qualities that you've just listed. And that's why I think that decision has to be taken out of the school and be placed in the Ministry of Education. However, having all the stakeholders, whether, as you mentioned, whether it's the student body, president's council body, having a representative and a voice, teachers body, and also probably principal body, and someone from the ministry or whichever other social society person who can help to make an informed decision. Because you're right, in terms of some of these things help to mold our values and our cultures. But at the same time, we can't have a situation, we can't encourage a situation where children are being kept out of school because their hair may be perceived to be a bit too long, when if you look at it, it doesn't seem long. So we have to ensure ultimately that they are in school, but still we have to conform to certain principles. So I do agree with you, but I still think that the ministry has to take leadership on that. The other thing I wanted to quickly mention was the situation. So recently, just today, it was announced that Ryerson Ryerson University here in Toronto is changing its name to Toronto Metropolitan University because of the person who it was named after was involved with I don't know if you heard about a situation here in Ontario where children were taken away from Indigenous children were actually removed from their homes and placed into it was called a Canadian residential school system. Well, pretty much it was children from an Indigenous background were removed from the normal school system and placed into this, what they call Canadian residential school system, which was set up by a politician at the time by the name of Ryerson. And so they're now finding a lot of bodies of children which were ill-treated during that time, Indigenous children which were ill-treated and in some instances killed. And again, it was also linked to the Catholic Church, I believe. So the university has chosen to disassociate itself by renaming, disassociate itself from Ryerson by renaming to the Toronto Metropolitan University. Now, for my school, my alma mater, which is Manning's school in Westmoreland. It was actually named after a slave owner, slave master, who, and in my opinion, I think school like Manning's and others should be renamed and disassociate itself from those slave owners and slave masters. I don't think that, I think having the schools named after them gives them a certain privilege and honor, and which I don't think should be bestowed upon them. So I think that is something. I know we're talking about repatriation and so forth, and we're taking a deep look at our history and the role that slavery has placed in our society. And even today, Harvard University had said that they've realized that a significant portion of their wealth came through slavery, and they're going to create a fund to help for honorees in name of slavery to help people. I think we need to disassociate ourselves, and even with a lot of roads and towns in Jamaica are named after slave owners and slave masters. We should not continue, in my opinion, to honor them in that manner. So I think, we need to do some direct steps where that is concerned.
Well,
the other thing
I can't join you on that at this point, because I'm a lover of history and I'm not into revisionist history. What has happened has happened.
Right.
And so when you look at these schools, Manning's, Titchfield, the Woolmers, etc., 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 founded by planters, people who had money at the time, and they could very well have just continued without even putting up or putting away or leaving funds for the establishment of educational institutions. And I think that has made a difference, a big difference in this country. Now, whether we decide at this stage that, boy, these people, they were involved in slavery, when will it end, or where will it end? Do we go and dig up everybody and we keep doing that to say, all right, so we need to tear down this, we need to change that, etc. History is history, and good and bad have come out of history. What we have to ensure is that our children tell the children the truth, as Bob Marley says. So put it out there. Yes, they were involved in slavery. Yes, they did this, etc. But hey, that doesn't take away from the students, because it's not about the people who spent the money to build Mannings and Woolmers and so on. It's about the students, for the most part, Black people picnic. Yes, in the early days, there might have been there were instances of discrimination, even though when you read the wills of these people, they did not say anything about only white people should attend the school. When you read the documentation is there. So the thing is, it's the students who have made these institutions what they are. The school by itself, the people who put their money to build the school by itself, that does not make an institution an outstanding institution. It's the quality of the student. It's the work of the students. So what we've had are students over these decades, over these centuries, who have built reputations for these institutions. So it's not the planters. It's not the government. It's the students who have entered these high schools, who have attended these institutions. They are the essence of what the organization is.
Okay, so let me respond. And I So I will only respond where Mannings is concerned. I can't speak for the others. And first, I'm not suggesting in any of these that we revise history. I'm saying that we acknowledge history for what it is, and we stop praising or honoring those who did us wrong, and by removing their names. And so let me speak to Manning.
But I'm sorry,
Manning's
if a man leaves £4,000 in his will to set up an educational institution,
right.
we erase that man from the face of the planet. We just forget that person existed.
You're not erasing him. You still have the recorded history. But let me quickly address something that you said. One, you said.
Sorry, hold on. Let's take the break. One moment. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Celebrate Farmers Month and win a share of $500,000 in the H&L Agro Farmers Month competition, April 1 to 30. Shop with your H&L loyalty card at any H&L Agro store for a chance to win weekly prizes of $10,000 or the grand prize of $300,000. Shop now at your nearest H&L Agro store. Visit hardwareandlumber.com for more details. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
All you'll ever need to know about agriculture in the 21st century, packed into one program. Farm Talk with Alpha McKenzie. Farm Talk, showcasing cutting-edge agricultural products, services, and practices. Farm Talk, keeping focus on issues affecting the farming community. Farm Talk, stimulating discourse to propel agriculture as a national tool for development. Farm Talk with Alpha McKenzie, the farmer's best friend.
When I listen to you in the mornings and the way you interview the people so that us as farmers can really understand, you break it down. It's really powerful.
Wake up to Farm Talk, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
I saw blood run with blood that drip.
Y ahora es en español, son las 5:14. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:14. 现在几点了？5点14分. 14 minutes to 5 o'clock. Make that 13 minutes now to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Go ahead, Steve.
Yes, Dervan. So I want the history to be taught. I want the history to be known, and at the same time to say that, okay, yes, this person left this at the time, but we have decided to remove his name because we do not want it to be seen as honoring him because of the atrocities that he committed.
And will you also return the £4,000 at today's value to the estate, the heirs and successors, to the people whose name, or the man, Thomas Manning, whose name is associated with Manning?
Okay, so let me deal with Thomas Mannings as I wanted to. So you mentioned Thomas Mannings as a planter. So in addition to a planter, I want it to be known that he was a slave owner, a slave master, not just a planter.
Which wouldn't be strange. Which wouldn't be unique.
1 minute, Dervan. Go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, to me, it is very important that, because I think that there's a very big difference between a planter and a slave owner, and what it means or connotate being a slave owner and a master. So you also mentioned that, so we have a copy of Thomas Manning's will.
I have read it over and over again.
Yeah, he has bequeathed the property of land was bequeathed to teach poor white children. That was exactly in his will. So I just wanted to add that correction, where he did state that in his will. In his will, he also bequeathed, I think it was either 13 black slaves, and he named them, and one Indian, and their lot. That is you and I, Dervan. To continue into slavery.
No.
And their lot, and their children, to continue into slavery, to continue to work to maintain the pay for the school, to pay for the free education for the white children. With regards to the money that you're speaking of, Dervan, that has been paid many times over by our foreparents, and to be truthful, we are now old because our foreparents paid for it with their life, Dervan. They have paid whatever they left. So black children or children of our color are now attending a school like Manning's, and I'm only speaking to Manning's because I only know Manning's history. I'm not speaking for the other schools that you mentioned. We're attending Manning's in spite of Thomas Manning's wishes, based on his wishes as stated in his will. We, children of Africans or the slaves at the time, were supposed to still be enslaved, working on the property. And we were bequeathed just like the cattle and the other stuff that were there in his will to finance the property. And I don't think that we should continue to honor slave owners by having schools, anything named after them, like as was with Hitler in Germany. Everything that bears their name should be removed from in Jamaica, roads, buildings, and so forth. However, it should not be removed from our history book because we do not. It should be taught. Our history should be taught in school because we want it to. And that's another thing. Our history, Jamaica's history, is not being taught in school. We need it to be taught in school.
I don't think you can. No, I don't think you can say that. The history of Jamaica is taught in schools.
You're correct, Dervan. It's not being taught sufficiently in school, but each child should know about Lady Musgrave and the different ones. You do this regularly on your show. I learned a lot on your show about what transpired throughout our history, the names of towns and so forth. That history that you're doing on your show, Dervan, is not being taught sufficiently in our school to each child. And we should be doing more of that. But not to miss the point, I don't think we should continue to honor our slave or people who have been involved in slavery or who did our foreparents wrong. The last thing, Dervan, that I wanted to quickly touch on, in today's newspaper, it mentions about pollutants and so forth. My aunt who recently passed away, my God rest her soul, she lived in Pembroke Hall, but she was always troubled by the Riverton City dump. And whenever there was a fire, whenever there was something going, she would always have bronchial problems, and it also contributed to her death. I would love to see we do more where that is concerned. We recently celebrated Earth Day, but to be honest, we're not doing enough. I tried and wanted to see if I could have gotten a class action lawsuit going against the government because I saw how much she was suffering, and I know a lot of what was happening was due to the air that she was taking in, which was in part due to the Riverton City dump. And but unfortunately, it didn't materialize. But we need to do a lot more. A lot of our people are suffering in silence. We see what is happening from the bauxite industry. We hear people talking about it every now and then. They will come and talk about the dust and all of that is taking place. There was some report just yesterday or so about what is happening with the road development in St. Thomas of Portland side. We are just not doing enough to ensure that to protect our people, and that is very unfortunate, Dervan. I don't want to annoy any of your listeners, and I know we're close to time, so I thank you for the time and thanks for the discussion.
Thank you very much, Steve. All the best.
Bye.
Take care. Steve McDonald in Toronto, Canada, sharing with us his thoughts and ideas on a variety of matters. I didn't realize that Courtney Greaves is online. She won the first This is Jamaica scholarship poetry competition. And she's on. She says, in reference to the discussion on hairstyles, she says some hairstyles are not permitted at her school. And she says standards teach us from now to groom and behave ourselves for the future. Communication is important on both sides, says Team Courtney Greaves. Beveline, I beg your pardon, Lady Jean in Monique St. Anne is greeting us. Good afternoon, Lady Jean. Team Courtney Greaves says, I'm home. Our voice as children most of the time is not being heard, says Team Courtney Greaves. And Carol in Jamaica, not in Calgary, Alberta, Canada today. She says, I love this gentleman's argument, very much on point. We need to get away from all the slave masters' name. Carol says, Dervan, many globally are dropping the slave masters' names, though. And then she says, set up the schools, yes, and erase their names. It's important that we stand together on erasing them speedily. And I think that's where we're going to leave it for now. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Tuesday, the 26th of April, 2022. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, both sides of the story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
What do we do now, my darling young one? I'm a going back out for the rain starts a falling. I'll walk to the depths of the deepest black forest, where the people are many and their hands are all empty, where the pellets of poison are flooding their water, where the home in the valley meets the captive prison, where the executioner's face is always well hidden, where the hunger is ugly, where souls are forgotten, where black is the color, where none is the number. And I'll tell it and think it and speak it and breathe it, and reflect it from the mountain so hot souls can hear it. And I stand on the ocean motion until I start sinking. And I know my song well before I start singing. It's a hard, it's a hard,
Try again.
it's a
Hello?
hard, it's a hard,
Yes.
it's a hard rain is a falling. It's a hard, it's a hard, it's a hard.
I link in with them in. Sure. That's doable.
Is a falling.
What I can do, because the event starts on Thursday, but we
You're
don't
listening to
have to
Power
wait for
106
Thursday
FM. The time
necessarily.
is now
5
We
o'clock.
could very well start it tomorrow, because I think tomorrow they start moving to
Comprehensive,
Philadelphia.
powerful,
Those in New
powerful,
York,
and credible.
take
Power
down
106
the truck
FM now
with the
presents a
Caribbean
simulcast
Royal
of Radio
Caribbean
Jamaica's
food
news
items,
at 5.
so on and so forth. It can work, actually. I'll just speak with Mr. Clare. You know, I don't plan to get involved in any of that, right? I think you should, if you want, you can speak to, you could. No, man, you're in a better position to speak to Kalisha. I will just continue to execute wherever I'm in keeping with my contractual obligations. I'll continue to execute, but I really don't have time for everything else.
Good afternoon, I am Dervan Gordon.
In other
Coming
words,
up
I'm
on the
saying,
news
if you want to
segment
put
of
the
Beyond the
suggestion to
Headlines today,
management,
Tuesday,
by
April
all means,
26,
go ahead,
2022.
because I guarantee
Staff
you I
at
can
the
make it
Cornwall
happen from the
Regional
standpoint
Hospital
of
left rattled
calling Erwin
after
Clare,
being
telling him
threatened
what the
by
plan
men
is,
who
and
turned
so
up
what
at
he
the
would do
institution demanding the release
is
of a
to
patient.
give us the
Two people
contacts
killed
for
in motor
those
vehicle
who we
collision
can
in
link with,
motor vehicle collision in Oswestry,
and
Clarendon.
on different
Labour
topics,
Minister
different
says no more
areas,
permit will be granted to
in
overseas
terms of the
persons to
work
the
of Team Jamaica
detriment of
People,
Jamaicans.
in
The
terms of
Integrity Commission has turned
the
the spotlight
Jamaicans in
on former Member of
Philadelphia
Parliament
and
Horace
their
Stanley for
work, and so
failing to
on and so
file
forth.
statutory
That's
declarations.
easy, quite
In
frankly.
business news, businesses more optimistic about making profits. The discussion segment of
Yeah,
Beyond
we
the
should be able
Headlines
to
with
get
Glenn
those as well.
Jackson
Yeah, I
Miller
think I'll
comes up
just need to go
after
to
this
the
newscast. The news
Pen
segment of
Relays
Beyond the
website.
Headlines is brought to
They
you
usually
by
have the
Flow.
hello. Yeah, I think I'll just need to go to the Pen Relays website and get the results. But all of that can happen if you get the go ahead to do links during both sides or wherever. Then so be it. So it's really up to you. Hello?
The details of the news on Radio Jamaica
Hello?
94 FM and online at radiojamaica94fm.com. The Jamaica Medical Doctors Association and the Nurses Association of Jamaica say their members at the Cornwall Regional Hospital have been left rattled after being threatened by men who turned up at the institution this morning to demand the release of a male patient. It was reported that more than a dozen individuals tried to remove the man from the accident and emergency unit, but were stopped by security personnel. Radio Jamaica News has informed that the men demanded that the patient be released into their custody, but medical staff resisted after stating that he was ill